Hello and welcome back to Apt for You. In this particular video, we are again back with a very basic problem, very simple problem, but often it can appear complicated to the beginners, right? So anyway, keeping the beginners in mind, I would like to solve this particular problem wherein we have to basically cyclically rotate an array. Now, rotating an array in the sense we just have to rotate it by one step, right? By one. In the sense, suppose we have an array 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If I say we are rotating the array by 1, which means by one position you have to move it right. So moving it right by one position, 1 comes here, 2 comes here, 3 comes here, 4 comes here, and 5 comes here, right? So 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 should be the output. How is that particular, how can that particular problem basically be solved? So yeah, this problem is very basic, but yes, keeping the beginners in mind, let me explain you in detail. So supposing we have an array 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? So one of the very basic approach of solving this is we know that this elements, the element coming before is actually moving to this position, right? Right now, what element will come here in the output array? The element before to it. What element will come here in the output array? The element before to it. Which element will come here? Sorry, the element before it, right? The element before it will come here. The element which element will come here? The element before it will come here. So if you see that one thing, then you will find that why not let's traverse the array from right to left, right? Basically what I want to say is, let us keep a variable I, and we will basically traverse the array for I equal to n minus 1, which means the last index of the array, I until it is greater than 0, and I minus minus, right? So what will happen? So basically if I have an elements in the array 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? And writing its index values, basically suppose its index are 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4, right? So what is happening? Basically I equal to n minus 1, and what is n minus 1? N minus 1 here is basically 4, right? So basically I is basically right now at this particular point pointing to 5. What is happening? We basically want this element to be replaced by the element before it. Getting the point? So basically we just want to say array of I should be equal to basically array of I minus 1, right? So array of I should be basically replaced by array of I minus 1, which means this should be basically replaced by 4. 4 should be coming here. But you remember one thing, the moment we write this, we will lose this value 5. But we know that this value 5 will be shifting in the front. So later on we will need it. So for that, before shifting, what can we do is basically, let us do one thing. Initially store the value integer temp is equal to array of n minus 1. Let us store the last element of the array in a variable temp. Okay, so basically we are secured now. The temp already holds the value 5. Now we write array of I equal to array of I minus 1. So basically array of I means array of 4. So array of 4 is equal to array of I minus 1 means 3. So this 3 is 4 basically, so 4 comes here, you can see. And then I minus minus means I will now point to this particular element. Again array of I is equal to array of I minus 1. So basically array of 3 is 4, right now. So array of 3 is 4. So array of 3 will now become array of 3 minus 1, which is array of 2, right? Array of 3 is equal to array of 2. So array of 3 is right now 4, but it will become array of 2, which means 3. So which means 3 will be coming here, right? So which means now 3 will be coming under this, right? Got the point? Again I minus minus, again array of 2 will be equal to array of 1. So array of 2 is 3, but what will it be replaced with? It will be replaced with array of 1. Array of 1 is nothing but 2. Done. Again I minus minus, we are coming at this position. Array of 1 is equal to 2, right? But we want to array of 1 will be replaced by array of the previous element, which is 0. So array of 1 is 2, but it will be replaced by the previous element, which is array of 0, which is 1. Done. Now this will loop will execute only as long as I is greater than 0. The moment I will point to this index, this will come out of the loop. Okay, so the moment I is pointing to this index, this value index 0, you see I greater than 0, then it will run into the loop. But if the moment the I will be equal to 0, it will come out of the loop. And the moment we come out of the loop, we see that this is still 1, right? This is still 1, but we want this to be replaced by the last element. And where have we kept the last element? The last element is basically stored in the variable temp. So we can just say temp equal to, so basically we can just say now that array of 0, which is equal to temp. That's it. And now finally we can just compile and submit the code. So this will work. So now what will happen, basically 5 will come here. So we will be having 5 1 2 3 4, and basically we have just performed rotation in the problem, right? So yeah, this is how we can solve this problem, cyclically rotate an array by 1. Any other technique to solve this? Yes, of course we have a technique to solve this, alternative technique. How can we do so? Let us see. So basically let me just comment this, or let me just remove this. Now the alternative technique to solve this particular problem is, like, we will be keeping track of pointers, like in the sense 1 2 3 4 and 5. What are the variables that is basically we are going to use? We are going to use two things. One of the value is previous, and one will be previous, and the other will be basically current, right? And we will traverse from left to right. So what is happening, from I is equal to, basically, let us say, let us use the variable integer I, and let us use the variable integer p comma c. What will happen, we know that at this particular point we will be replacing it with 5, right? We will be replacing it with 5, the value before it. What value will come before it? 5 will come before it, right? So basically what should we do? We should keep track of the value 5. So basically p should be equal to array of n minus 1. Initially initialize p with array of n minus 1. Now what to do? Now let us move from I equal to 0 till I less than n and I plus plus, right? We will be just moving from 0 to n and then increment I plus plus, which means that we are going to basically traverse from left to right, right? We are going to traverse from this position to this position. So I hope you can just imagine what is actually happening. So we have 1 2 3 4 and 5. We have I at this particular position, right? P is equal to array n minus 1, which means it has stored the value 5. What we will do now, since we are going to use this value later on, right? So what we will do is, we will say current is equal to array of I. What will happen? The current value of I will be stored in the value C. So C will basically store the current value of I, which is 1. Done. And the value I will be, now the element at array of I will be initialized to the element which existed before it. So which is P for previous, which means P is basically now 5. So this will be initialized with 5. Done. So remember, P is equal to 5 so far. Now what should we do? We should update P. Why update P? Because now P will be becoming C, because we are going forward. So at the current value now, what is the current value? The current value is 1. So basically P will become 1. Okay. So now I from here has come to this particular position. Now the moment I comes to this particular position, what are we going to do? C is equal to array of I. So array of I is nothing but I is right now at this position. So C will become 2. Done. Array of I is equal to P. So array of this position, what will come in this position? P. And what is the value of P we stored right now? 1. 1 will come. You see, the previous value is stored here, right? Again what will happen? I will increment. Again we will say C equal to array of I. So array of I is right now 3. So C will be stored with 3. Done. Again we say array of I is equal to P, right? And what did we store in P? Okay, we just previously forgot to store P. So array of I is equal to P. P is equal to 2, right? So basically we will say this will be equal to 2, and P will be equal to C. What was C? C was basically 3 here, right? C is 3 here. So this will become 3 now. I moves forward. C is equal to array of I. C will become 4. Array of I is equal to P. So array of I is equal to P. What is P? P is 3. So 3. Done. And P is equal to C. So C's value is 4. So P will be taking 4. I comes here. C is equal to array of I. C becomes 5. Array of I is equal to P. So this will become basically what? P. P is nothing but 4. 4. And P is equal to C. So P becomes now 5, because it is 5. Anyway, the loop will now terminate because we have reached the end point. So you can see the array has been modified to 5 1 2 3 4, and this particular problem will also work the same, right? So I hope the video was helpful. In case of any doubt, please feel free to put it out in the comment section, and just like, share and subscribe. So let us see if the code is working fine. Yes, the code is working fine and it is successfully submitted. So these are the two techniques of solving, and anyway both are having same time complexity. Time complexity in both cases is order n. Space complexity is also constant. So any of the approaches you can go with. So that's all from this side. Thank you.